This episode of the Dungeoncast has been brought to you by Hero Forge. Hero Forge has fully customizable tabletop miniatures with dozens of fantasy races and thousands of parts to choose from. Their easy-to-use design tool lets you build the perfect miniature online using a fully 3D in-depth character creator right in your web browser. There are plastic and metal options for your custom mini. And Hero Forge even offers downloadable model files for users to 3D print their unique designs at home. Plus, they're constantly expanding the catalog of customization options. They're adding new parts every week and major features like races and custom posing on a regular basis. All you have to do is go to heroforge.com and you can start designing your custom mini today. It's super easy. And don't forget to check back and visit them every now and again because they're always adding new content. One more time, that's heroforge.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dungeoncast. I'm Will.
I'm Brian.
This is the podcast where we talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons, from jubilant justices to jiggling jellies. And today we're covering Juiblex.
It's real easy to get caught up in Jubilex. It's Juiblex.
Yes, exactly, because I usually do slip into Jubilex.
Yeah.
I feel like it just rolls off the tongue better, but it's either Juiblex or Juiblex.
Juiblex.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
I like hitting the I.
Yeah, the I's in there. Might as well hit it.
Right.
Right. So what do you know about Juiblex?
I know enough about him from the last episode we did on Zuggtmoy.
Right, we did. Zuggtmoy, yes, and we did talk about him a little bit. He is her arch rival in a way. So.
He's the Ooze Prince.
He is the Ooze Prince. So let's get into it. So Juiblex is one of the major Demonlords in Dungeons and Dragons. He is the demon prince of oozes, slimes, and shapeless things, and is also known as the Faceless Lord, the Oozing Hunger, he who slithers, the Unnameable One, and contemptuously by other Demonlords, he is known as the Lord of Nothing.
The Lord of Nothing? Okay.
He is an interesting entity. He has been considered at times to be a minor deity as well as a demon lord, though he's also commonly regarded as the weakest of all the demon lords. Okay. So this may be factually incorrect and merely an underestimation of his power. He himself is not concerned with the outward perception of his abilities. Juiblex is a noxious creature that doesn't care about the plots and schemes of others of its kind. He exists only to consume, digest, and transform living matter into more of himself.
Good for you, Juiblex.
Yeah.
Live your truth.
He's a strong, independent demon lord that don't need no one else in his life.
He don't need no recognition.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. So Jubilex is considered to be the most disgusting and loathsome of all demonkind. He is a stew of noxious fluids that lurks in the abyssal depths. He has no set form. He can spread himself into a vast pool of slime or raise up into a towering column of disgusting ordure into whatever shape that he pleases. A true horror. Juiblex is a massive bubbling and shuddering slime swirling with black and green veins and with glaring red eyes floating and shifting within his semi-translucent body. Okay. He can rise up 20 to a 20-foot tall towering mass, his baleful red eye swimming in his gelatinous body, and dripping pseudopods of tremulous ooze writhing with latent hunger in every direction at once, ready to drag victims into himself and to become one with him.
My God. Whoa. Can you imagine hitting this guy with like a beam, like a concentrated beam of light, like a flashlight?
Oh, yeah. Well, I could also see his
nasty
ooze just like forming a hole and the light beam going right through it and then reforming back.
That's cool.
In his resting state, Juiblex spreads out as a pool of animated ooze, a noxious mass bubbling and filling the air with a profound stench. In short, he's a big slime boy.
He's a big slime boy.
He's a big slime boy.
Is he? So he's shapeless? Shapeless?
He's whatever shape he wants to be, and usually he just lets it all hang out. He's just a pool.
He's a pool of
grossness.
I kind of like the idea of him having like a jacuzzi that has no water.
Yeah, he is his own jacuzzi. He is the jacuzzi. Exactly. But like
throw my dinner in here. When just anywhere's fine.
Anywhere's fine. But when things get serious, or when he decides that he needs a little bit more structure in his life, he can form himself into like a more solid oblong structure.
So he doesn't need no man or nobody. He can form a little hand to like reach outside of the jacuzzi tub and grab the chicken leg or whatever.
Very true. Absolutely. So Juiblex is a strange and dark anomaly of the abyss, a horrid monster whose shape and aura are repulsive and whose mind conforms to no one's expectations. The Formless One is hideous even to his peers, the other demon lords who dismiss him as the master of nothing. But behind their jeering mockery and callous dismissal of the Faceless Lord is a bit of genuine fear. Juiblex is inscrutable, strange, and alien even by demonic standards. Just the fact that Juiblex is there and is this non-quantifiable entity to the other demon lords, it somewhat unnerves them.
Okay.
Like, no one knows what to make of this dude. He's there. He's powerful enough to be a threat, even if he's technically weaker than all the other Demon Lords. But no one knows what drives Jubilex. No one knows what Jubilex will do. He seems to do nothing most of the time.
Okay.
But he could do something at any time. And they just don't know.
They fear the unknown that is
Exactly.
Juiblex. Can you imagine like somebody like Baphomet or like Inagu coming up to you and being like,
That's pretty bad, right? Like, seriously, like
oh, what the
bro,
fuck?
like, I know I'm me, but
I honestly think maybe he was born of like the slime byproduct of something one of those two Demon Lords was doing.
I mean, it's possible. No one. Well, we're going to talk about the enigmaticness of his origins in a bit here,
story.
but yeah, no one really knows where Jubilex comes from.
He had no Uncle Ben.
He had no Uncle Ben. So, despite all of his enigmaticness, Jubilex is very much the least complicated of the Demon Lords when it comes to his personality and his goals. He is severely one-track minded, as his only plans, if you will, are destruction and ruin, and he cares little for intrigue or maneuvering. Jubilex does not plot or scheme. Jubilex is content to simply exist, destroying and killing and corroding anything he can get his tendrils on.
Yeah.
He hates everything and revels only in sating his never-ending hunger. Jubilex contributes nothing towards the struggles in and or for the Abyss, making efforts neither during the Dawn War nor throughout the ascendancy of the Queen of Chaos, and when it came to the rise of the God, what were they called? The things before the Tanari. What were they called? I can't remember.
Shit.
They were the
This is
more
something I should
they
know.
were the more Lovecraftian type demons before like the current like reign of the Tanari demons, and for some reason I can't remember the name of them. But Queen of Chaos was one of them. And nor in the ongoing blood war between demons and devils does Jubilex involve himself either. Again, he doesn't do anything.
So passive.
He's very passive. Yeah.
That's why they're scared.
Yeah, that's why they're scared.
So no
'cause-
blood war interaction, no forming armies or leading troops of chaos into the unknown.
None of that mess. No.
Okay.
So only the slimes and oozes that populate his realm truly interest the fetid prince. They quiver with something akin to pleasure when the faceless lord is near, writhing whenever he passes.
Just the Jubilex like rolling through it and all of the slimes just like jiggling.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Jubilex might be a demon lord, but what he claims as his dominion is nothing anyone else could ever want. Thus, the moniker, the Master of Nothing.
Okay, I get it now.
Yeah. Still, there are things about Juiblex that all should fear despite his lack of scheming and his lack of action. For one, it is speculated that in addition to being a demon lord, Juiblex is also a minor deity. The Book of Vile Darkness from 3.5 names him as one of the lost gods. So if he isn't still a deity now in 5.0, he at least used to be at one point. Now, it isn't clear what powers or abilities this does or doesn't give him, but I'm sure it isn't nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure he gets something from that.
It's the power to become soup.
I guess
or
so.
Not be soup.
I guess so. The other factor is the fact that unlike other demon lords, Jubilex already has servants that pervade nearly every corner of the cosmos. Oozes and jellies.
Yeah, those are just random baddies in dungeons.
And they are all subject to his will and can be found throughout the material plane, both of its echoes, some of the elemental planes, and almost all of the lower planes. Basically, if oozes can survive, they're there.
Right.
So with Jubilex,
And they are,
yeah. And so with Jubilex's servants already found in every corner of existence they can possibly inhabit, one might wonder why he hasn't yet roused his armies and seized the world. In truth, it's speculated that he has more servants than he can command at any one time. He can't divide his attention to direct them all at once, at least not yet. So it's said that he is waiting patiently, accumulating his power and breeding new horrors for the day when he can claim what he believes is his due. And when he does, it's quite possible the cosmos may be doomed to drown in his putrescence.
Holy shit, because you have just all these oozes and jellies
everywhere.
sucking up adventurers all the time.
Yeah.
And that's okay, so I can see why people are scared. They're like, he's not doing anything,
But he's
everywhere.
He fucking could. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he's waiting for his godhood to kick in for some servants to start worshiping so he can get the power to collect his minions.
It's very, very possible.
He's just storing them all in rando dungeons.
Yeah, exactly. So with that being said, let's take a short rest.
Okay. So we're not talking about that last gooey thing. We're talking about this new gooey thing. It's our love.
So sticky.
It's so sticky. God, it's everywhere. It's all over the mic.
Oh, wait. No, I was talking about Jubilex.
It's all over the key. I was talking about my love. It's all over the keyboard.
Oh, no.
It's all over your laptop. Oh, wait. Hang on. Is that love?
Hey.
Is that one love?
Let's talk about our patrons.
Hey, patrons. Thanks so much for being on board and for helping us. Go check out your bonus content. There's a lot of people that came in. Thank you, guys. I know the world is a crazy place right now, so we really appreciate your ongoing support.
Indeed.
So let's get into it. It's we got coming up on this list: Kyle Stoickig,
Thank you, Kyle.
Enigma,
Thank you, Enigma.
Jeremy Blackburn,
Thank you, Jeremy.
Nick Woyson,
Thank you, Nick.
McSwagger Duff.
Thank you,
I think they left
McSwagger Duff.
They left and came back.
I think they're
just farming
repeat.
shoutouts.
Maybe.
That's fine.
Is that a thing?
It is.
Apparently.
If you want it to be, it can
I
be.
suppose so.
But thank you, McSwagger Duff. Warhammer 99701.
Thank you, Warhammer.
Owl Blue.
Thank you, Owl Blue.
Micah.
Thank you, Micah.
Rao Utu.
Thank you. Wait, say it again.
It's RAUUTU. Rao Utu.
Thank you, Rautu.
Sam Holmberg.
Thank you, Sam. I feel like we got a lot of Sams lately. Is that just me? I feel like there's been a Sam every shout out. I'm going to have to go back and listen.
Well, we're going to go listen to the episode from 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, because we recorded.
It's every 2 or 3 weeks, yeah.
Well, this last one should be 3 weeks ago.
That's true.
Because we did 3 at once.
We did 3 at once, yeah.
It's the way we record in advance. Anywho's, what's today's date? Well, the 5th, April 5th?
Yes, I believe so.
Today's April 5th as we're recording this. So
this episode won't drop for like 3 weeks from now.
Yeah. So thanks, guys. If you're new to the Patreon, after that date, or even on that date, but after the time we pulled the list, you'll get your shout out on the next couple.
Yep.
Other than that, Flashbang and the Surgeon is, I have episodes stockpiled, and I'll be releasing those soon. But other than that, we haven't recorded anything new because of the virus outbreak and all that stuff. We're going to figure it out online like we are with Saga, but we'll talk more about that in our long rest. Yes. So otherwise, let's get back to the show.
Back to the show.
We're back.
Okay.
We've returned.
That's good. Back to the Abyss. Specifically back to Shedaklah.
Oh, shit. It's back again.
Yes.
So the crazy name that has no joke. It is the joke.
It is the joke itself.
I called for you all to put your best stuff in the comments, and I was disappointed. But I shouldn't be because it's not possible.
Apparently not. It's like the word orange. There's nothing that rhymes.
There's nothing that rhymes with that.
So we talked about this in the Zuggtmoy episode. But
yes.
Jubilex dwells in the 222nd layer of the Abyss, also known as Shedaklah. Here he shares the dominion of the lair with Zuggtmoy, the Lady of Fungi. The two Demonlords have a long history of conflict. This is essentially the only form of activity and contact Jubilex has with others of his kind. The two are locked in a bitter stalemate as Jubilex constantly attempts to surge upward into Zuggtmoy's holdings, and Zuggtmoy spends much of her energy trying to drive him out of his caverns below.
What does that look like?
Just overgrowth going back and forth.
Like he's corroding away the mushrooms,
fungus.
And she's just like planting fungi seeds down.
I guess so. She sends out her armies, which also just grow. Like his ooze stuff is made of organic matter, so I'm sure they could use that for food. They just constantly eat each other, and like they're both endlessly hungry, so no one wins.
Yeah, I love the splatooning around.
Yeah, like exactly. That's why when you use that example, I was like, fuck, that's pretty close.
He just shows up from a hole underground and throws up a whole bunch all over the place and then goes back to his jacuzzi.
Exactly, which is himself.
His jacuzzi has to be made of something that he's not going to corrode through quickly, probably.
Probably some sort of stone.
Maybe some hardened slime. Just more slime.
Okay, that's gross. Let's just keep talking. All right. Speaking of which, Jubilex's principal lair is known as the Slime Pits, a bubbling morass of oozing fetid sludge. Its landscape is covered in vast expanses of caustic and unintelligent slimes in strange organic forms that rise from the oceans of molds and oozes at Jubilex's command.
Gross.
Lesser oozes, which are a threat only in great numbers, coat the upper passages. The deeper into the reeking pits one travels, though, the more terrifying and cunning the oozes become, until no mistake can be made about their sentience and demonic nature.
Okay. So, like...
What does that look like?
No, I know. It looks like the inside of a sick person's nose.
I guess so. Yeah, sure.
Goopy and oozy and drippy and soupy.
Exactly. Jubilex and his servants have actually chewed through the stone and soil to link the deeper chasms in Shedaklah together through a network of damp corridors.
That's cool.
Each chasm serves as a breeding pit where the oozes spawn in an endless cycle, their fecundity filling the pits with so many slimes of so many varieties that the sheer numbers create masses akin to underground lakes.
Yikes. It's fecundities.
Yeah, indeed. It's gross. I try and find fun words.
What a word.
Though they are not numerous, other types of demons sometimes choose to reside here as well.
Okay, they do?
They do, sometimes.
Okay.
The slime pits attract those who value anarchy and anonymity above all else, because Jubilex pays so little attention.
It's like nobody comes here.
Yeah.
And that guy doesn't give a fuck, so I can come, like, okay, well, who?
So Hezraus, the toad-like demons, croak in the still gloom of the upper chambers, while Chasmes, the fly-like demons, feast on the waste pooling in the corridors.
Okay,
so the real nasty
that tracks,
demons,
I guess.
the
real nasty boys are in there eating the goo.
And it's specifically the real nasty boys that don't like to be told what to do by the bigger nasty boys, so they come here.
They, like, I'm okay with eating the shit of the things that are shit.
Yeah, basically. And no one's here to tell me I can't.
No one's going to
So I'm gonna.
No one's going to tell me how to live. I'm going to eat this poop.
That's exactly it, yes.
Okay.
But the most wretched denizens of the slime pits are mortals who bound themselves into Jubilex's service. I say I did it again. It's Juiblex, not Jubilex.
You've done it a few times, but that's okay.
I'm sorry, everyone.
I'm
trying real hard.
Just roll with it. We all know it's supposed to be Juiblex. Just roll with it.
It takes a particularly depraved person to seek out the Faceless Lord, and most who do so suffer terrible afflictions that lead to madness already.
Okay.
Like, before they ever met this guy.
Like before they even get there.
Yeah.
Because
this is how they got there.
They're rolling through the abyss and they probably had to fight a mushroom lady.
I'm just talking about mortals who like find their way into his worship,
like
not necessarily to him. So mortals looking for relief from misery can be lured into cults that offer prayers and sacrifices to the pestilent Demonlord. Those who bind themselves to Juiblex might be drawn one day to Shedaklah. Such broken souls slowly dissolve until they are reborn as sentient oozes or gelatinous hybrids doomed to serve Juiblex.
Nice. Isn't the black pudding like really strong?
Yeah, we're actually going to talk about a very specific black pudding very soon. But yeah, black puddings are very strong.
I used the black pudding as a boss fight in F-Bats.
Yeah.
It was raunchy. It was a really strong monster.
Yeah. Spoilers for Super Quest Saga, but I almost used the black pudding for that one boss fight.
Where we fought a noose with all the faces
instead,
in it.
I used the blood elemental, which was way cooler.
Oh,
but
cool.
Both would have worked, but I just happened to find one that fit a bit more.
Okay.
But yeah, the black pudding's very strong.
Yeah. Pseudopods.
Yeah, all them pseudopods. So Juiblex's territory in Shedaklah extends to the surface as well as below. So in some ways, he kind of controls more land than Zuggtmoy does.
He has more surface area.
Yeah, he really does.
He can populate all 360 degrees of space.
It's very true. So at the edge of Zuggtmoy's control, across the far bank of the river Styx, 5 bubbling slime-filled chasms erupt onto the surface of Shedaklah like pus from a broken scab.
Yum, yum, yum.
Ranging in color from olive, mustard, green, ochre, and gray, the pools lead deeper into the slime pits themselves. Another region of influence Jubilex has on the surface of Shedaklah is an enormous lake-like body known as the Ichor Deep Entity. This slowly expanding stain of colonial algae appeared around the same time that Zuggtmoy ended up being bound in the Temple of Elemental Evil. We talked about this in the Zuggtmoy episode.
We did, yeah.
This is how she lost control of her place because she got locked up for a bit.
Okay.
So the Ichor Deep Entity grew to dominate hundreds of miles of territory by the time she returned to the abyss.
Okay.
This syrupy expanse of purple and black plant matter occasionally generates giant pseudopods capable of grasping prey from the air above, betraying at least rudimentary sentience of some kind.
So it's like a fusion between the mushrooms and the goo?
Kinda. Zuggtmoy has not and will not even speak of the entity since she has returned, leading most to come to the conclusion that she has completely lost this region to Juiblex's control.
Oh, man.
So he's just got a big
can't even get it back.
Yeah, I can't even get it back because this fucking
nasty.
Ichor Deep Entity.
Ichor Deep.
Which is a really cool name for a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so... the Faceless Lord does not venture throughout the slime pits nor any other region that he controls. Instead, he seizes a lesser ooze and uses that servant to carry his awareness wherever he wishes within his fetid kingdom. His throne room, if you will, stands at the kingdom's center in a cavern littered with remains that are resistant to his caustic humors of the room's acidic inhabitants.
Okay, so he's got material in there that can
maintain
this is
some
sort of
good
form.
Stone that won't burn unless I really want it to.
This is that marble shit with the wax coat.
That's true.
Okay.
So Jubilex claims a stone pedestal in the center where his excretions have corroded and streaked the rock. It has become like a crooked finger rising up from a churning stew of oozes and other lackeys that have won the favor of Jubilex.
Oh, weird.
So this is a really weird, like, throne courtroom. It's real nasty.
Yeah, probably stinks.
So outside of Zuggtmoy, Jubilex has no enmity with any other demon lords, nor does he really have any kind of interaction with them at all. The other demon lords despise and loathe Jubilex, but most see him as a faceless menace that poses a threat only to those foolish enough to stand in front of him, and they wisely choose to leave him alone. To them, he's Zuggtmoy's problem, and no one really likes her either.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Exactly.
So wait, so the only place that smells worse than like the Underdark is the Abyss, because every time we talk about the Abyss, it always smells like dank shit.
Well, to be fair, the last couple times we've talked about it was when we were talking about the Queen of Funguses and now the King of Oozes.
So but Baphomet's stuff can't smell good.
Oh no, there's so much rotten
animals.
flesh.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like none of it smells good.
Yeah. None of it smells. Well, no.
None of it smells good.
No, I don't think any of it smells good because I know Orcus's realm is full of like bones and dead. So no.
Yeah.
Plus, you can't breathe there, so I guess you smell nothing.
What do you do as a player? Like, because this has implications. Like when I go into a place that smells bad, I want to leave immediately.
True, but if you're here, you're probably here for a reason, or maybe you are trying to escape.
So you're wearing a bandana. What's up?
I suppose so. I mean, I would imagine you would put on what you could, but yeah, it would be under the DM's discretion to like remind the players and to be good about describing exactly how fucking nasty, awful it smells.
Yeah, is that something that I don't know if I cover the way things smell enough in my games,
right,
you know?
Right.
Like
I don't know if I do either. I try.
Like, should this have an effect on like a player's? It definitely should have an effect on a player
if you want it to.
On their role play.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're going to a stinky place like of rotting flesh,
yeah,
that's an almost unbearable smell for the average person.
I think so, yeah.
Do you as you level up in Dungeons and Dragons, do you just like become immune to smells?
No, I don't think so, but like the way smell works in real life is if you're exposed to a smell long enough, you stop smelling it.
That's true.
Yeah, and that happens pretty quickly actually.
It does. So you're just like,
you would have the initial like disgust factor, but I would say after a couple hours, like, well, you guys don't really smell anymore because like you probably smell like it now too.
You're just you're the seasoned adventurer in the party. You've been to many places, and you're just like, give it like 10 minutes, man.
Oh,
you're not gonna smell it anymore.
I went smell blind 10 years ago.
I can't. Yeah, you're good if you're just play somebody that has experienced like planar travel.
Right,
and you're good.
Exactly.
You don't smell rotting flesh anymore because you're just overexposed.
So we've covered the fact that Juiblex is served by countless oozes and jellies and some few demons as well. But let's cover cultists and specific greater servants of his.
Okay.
So,
back in the material plane. Damn, Daniel.
Yeah. So there is no organized cult of Juiblex, although a few demented souls or groups do revere the Faceless Lord as a god. It's doubtful that Juiblex knows of these few outside of those who make the pilgrimage to the slime pits, and even if he does know about them, he certainly doesn't encourage them, nor does he reward their loyalty.
Okay.
So it's a miracle they freaking exist anyway.
They did it because they felt like it.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Only the most crazed and desperate people worship the Faceless Lord. Those shattered few think that he might ease their pain or burn out their minds so that in insanity, they can endure whatever terrible condition that led them to such desperate measures in the first place.
But instead, he just like passively looks over as you enter the room and like goes back to eating his chicken leg.
Well, no, if you get to the point where you're in the room with him, he's like, okay, come here, and he eats you.
Oh.
And then like
he reaches for his chicken leg and he's like, and then he reaches for you.
Exactly. And you're at least, I guess at that point,
that's
like,
kind of
thank
what you
God,
want.
this is what I wanted.
The master's touched me.
Yeah, exactly. And then you become part of him.
And now I am the ooze.
Indeed. Disease has the tendency to touch all of Juiblex's non-ooze servants in some way. One might be covered in unsightly growths. Another could have unnatural blisters on the hands and face, or their fingers and toes might be rotted away.
Cool.
It's really DM's discretion there.
So you just got some nubby hands and feet.
I guess so.
With your nubby hands, you're just like, we are the ooze. And then you fall on the floor in like a pile.
It. Oh, that's so gross, but I love it.
Yep.
The most powerful and notable of all Juiblex's servants is a gargantuan-sized black pudding known as Darkness Given Hunger.
Is this the three-headed dog guarding the gates of hell?
I mean, there's some similarities, but not really. Kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Darkness Given Hunger is the largest black pudding known in all of existence.
Okay.
It was possessed by a Hezrau demon, those are the toad ones,
Okay.
at Jubilex's command, and then an imprisoned possessor spell was cast upon the fusion, making it permanent. For centuries, the demon has dwelled within the pudding, and the two have truly become one in the foul depths of the abyss. It serves as Jubilex's most favored servant, occasionally venturing to the surface or even into the material plane on the hunt for particularly delicious morsels.
Okay.
It's just like a mini him. It's his mini me.
It's just mini. Sorry, I became the doing math meme at the beginning of that.
Why?
Like,
What happened?
because of like doing fucking calculations that didn't make sense.
For me, I'm like, why does this have to be so complicated? Why couldn't it just been, no, it's just the biggest, baddest ooze, like, and he loves it.
Yeah, like
But no, it's possessed by a demon. I guess they wanted to give it intelligence, so it's like super, super intelligent. Because
so it's
demons tend to be very, very intelligent too.
Yes,
so it's possessed by a Hezrau demon. The Hezrau demon is very, very intelligent, and it's the biggest black pudding known in all the universe.
So walk me through it. It's possessed by the toad demon, the Hezrau,
and
and then a spell was cast to
make it permanent. So the demon possessed
the possession wouldn't wear off.
Exactly.
Okay,
and so the Hezrau's body is gone. There is no Hezrau anymore. They are
is the
one.
pudding.
There is the pudding. And since the pudding itself has such weak will and no personality, it's just the Hezrau within the pudding, really.
All right, sweet.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Like, why not do it a bunch of times?
I mean, he probably only has one black pudding this big.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this seems like...
And he doesn't have a lot of demons that, like, serve him. And Jubilex doesn't really think about the future too much. He just thought it was a good idea at the time.
He doesn't give a shit.
He really doesn't.
So he just has one
He's just fat and lazy and lives in a cave.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. Any questions about Jubilex before we get into his regional effects and his stats and his madness?
I bet the regional effect involves gooey stuff.
Oh, I mean, without a doubt.
Okay, let's
get into it. So, the region containing Juiblex's lair is warped by its magic, creating one or more of the following effects. It looks like we have 3. First effect, small bodies of water such as ponds or wells within 1 mile of the lair turn highly acidic, corroding any object that touches them. Number 2, surfaces within 6 miles of the lair are frequently covered by a thin film of slime, which is slick and sticks to anything that touches it.
It's slick and sticky?
Yeah, that's it. Well, I suppose it's slick, but when you try and pull away from it, it's sticky.
It's on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you could probably skate across it, but you can't lift your legs to actually do the skating, so you can't skate across it.
You're with seasoned adventurers, like, everybody get a running start.
Yeah.
And then, pretend like you're on your tile at home.
Right, exactly.
Okay,
That's
got
exactly it. And lastly, if a humanoid spends at least one, it's just madness. If it,
just madness.
I forgot. So
just madness.
if you spend an hour within his region, you have to make a saving throw against madness. It's a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw. Here's the madness chart.
Yes. Read it to me from the first person,
1,
Will.
2, 3, 4, 5. Well, yeah, I have to. That's how it's written. So there's 5 effects. If you roll a 0 to 20, I must consume everything I can.
I'm pretty sure that's a duplicate of another one.
Maybe.
Like an Inagu one.
The second one, I refuse to part with any of my possessions.
Okay.
Number 3, I'll do everything I can to get others to eat and drink beyond their normal limits. That's gross.
This is
Number 4, I must possess as many material goods as I can. So you become hoarding.
Oh, you're like a slime.
You're like a slime. You start acting like an ooze.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. And the last one, sorry.
I was like trying to make the connection.
I didn't
what
expect
is
the
this
sentence that I'm about to read. So here's the last one. My personality is irrelevant.
Okay.
I am defined by what I consume.
Dope. That's cool.
I am the Chipotle.
I am guac.
I am the guac.
I am guac is extra for 2. Give me the
Stop
guac.
calling me Will. Start calling me guac.
Just call me guac.
Okay, so
I get it on every Chipotle bowl.
That's exact. Anyways, layer actions. So if you actually go here, why on earth would you? Because there's no reason to go here. He never leaves. Like, you never have to worry about him. So why would you go here? But I guess if you're here,
wait, aren't there oozes that like possess the spirit of your fallen homie, or like become the vengeful spirit of your?
Yeah.
Can't you become an ooze?
That's a ritual you have to do. Yeah.
Right.
We become a vengeful ooze.
That's that's like the only personality tie-in I could think. Like maybe somebody really important became a vengeful ooze and you got to go down there and do something about it.
I guess so, but
You're probably going to Zuggtmoy's to do something and you fell down there.
yeah, that's how you got here.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the ooze uprising is actually happening, and so now you got to go to the source.
Maybe
and kill it.
Maybe your carefully crafted woven campaign is the ooze uprising. Yeah. And if it is, that's fucking cool.
That's
and I
really
know
cool.
about
That's really dope. Yeah, absolutely. So you're here. You're fighting Juiblex. These are the things he can do when it's not his turn.
He can turn you into soup.
He gets 2 actions. Number 1. God, they're both so long. Jubilex slimes a square area of ground it can see within the lair. The area can be up to 10 feet on a side. The slime lasts for 1 hour or until it is burned away with fire. When the slime appears, each creature in the area must succeed a DC 21 saving throw or become restrained. Okay, so it's like a restraining ooze.
That's cool. They just fucking Splatoon grenade the ground right there.
Exactly. When a creature enters the area for the first time or on a turn or ends its turn there, the creature must make the same saving throw to not be restrained. A restrained creature is stuck as long as it remains in the slimy area or until it breaks free. The restrained creature or another creature that can reach it can use its action to try and break free and must succeed on a DC 21 strength check. Okay. So this is you're stuck there.
Yeah, that's a pretty high check.
Yeah. If the slime is set on fire, it burns away after 1 round. Any creature that starts its turn, in the burning slime takes 4d10 fire damage.
4d10.
So it's a dangerous way to get rid of the slime. If someone's in it. I
was going to say, are other oozes and slimes susceptible to fire? I don't remember that part. Like, are the basic enemy ones? They're not weak to fire,
I don't think so,
right?
no.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
This is just this specific goo.
I guess
like
so.
all these goos and slimes have different chemical compositions.
Exactly.
Like. Okay,
exactly.
like there's.
I mean, they're all
ones?
different colors and consistencies. That makes sense. So,
yeah.
Here's the only other action Jubilex can take as a lair action. Jubilex slimes a square. He likes to slime things, doesn't he?
He likes slime and squares.
Jubilex slimes a square area of ground it can see within the lair. The area can be up to 10 feet wide on a side. The slime lasts for an hour until it's burned away. When the slime appears, each creature on it must succeed a DC 21 dexterity saving throw or fall prone and slide 10 feet in a random direction determined by a D8 roll. When a creature enters the area for the first time, so this is a slippery slime. He's a sticky slime, a slippery slime. Those are the only 2 things he does. I told you, he's like the weakest, most simple Demonlord.
He's got 2 nostrils. One's got sticky stuff and one's got slippy stuff.
Exactly. And none of it does any damage, which is actually, he's already at a major disadvantage compared to other Demonlords right now.
Because he's not doing any damage with his lair effects.
He's just like fucking with you. He's like,
And look at him sliding around.
Exactly.
Hey, big smart black pudding, check this out.
Exactly. All right, so let's get to his stat block, which is actually very substantial. Holy shit. Are you ready for this?
It's Juiblex, voiced by Seth Rogen.
That's not too far off. He did voice that one slime creature in that one movie.
Oh, the Megamind?
Yeah, no, not Megamind.
Well, it came out at the same time as Megamind,
yeah,
right?
It did. It was like it was.
They're
bad.
all monsters.
It was a bad movie.
One of them's Bigfoot.
Yeah,
exactly. I remember.
Yes. Anyways, Jubilex.
Was it a bad movie? You have Seth Rogen voicing a slime monster.
It was okay.
He's a big idiot.
I've seen it 3 times somehow. I'm not sure how that happened. Here we are.
Okay.
All right, Juiblex. Huge fiend, chaotic evil. Armor class 18, hit points 350. That seems kind of low, but okay. Speed 30 feet, strength 24, dexterity 10, constitution 23, intelligence 20, wisdom 20, charisma 16. He's resistant to cold, fire, and lightning. He's immune to poison. He's immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage that isn't magical. Mm-hmm. He is immune to the conditions of being blinded, charmed, deafened, exhausted, frightened, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, restrained, stunned, or unconscious. Don't bother with conditions. He can't have them.
He can't have conditions.
Indeed.
He is a condition.
He has true sight of 120 feet.
That's good.
He has telepathy and can speak all languages.
That's good.
So he has 1 major No, he's got a few features, but 1, 2, 3 unique features. We'll start with the first one. It's called Foul. Any creature other than an ooze that starts its turn within 10 feet of Jubilex must succeed a DC 21 Constitution saving throw or be poisoned until the start of the creature's next turn. So he's got a poison aura about him. He stinks so bad.
Okay.
He has regeneration. Jubilex regains 20 hit points at the start of its turn. If it takes fire or radiant damage, this trait doesn't function at the start of its next turn. Jubilex dies only if it starts its turn with 0 hit points and doesn't have regeneration.
That's an interesting
mechanic.
mechanic.
That's just like trolls.
Yeah.
And so that kind of boosts his power level a little bit there.
Yeah.
He's really resilient.
He's regenerating that low HP.
Exactly. And he won't stay down unless you do a certain thing to him.
Exactly, yeah.
He has spider climb. He can climb all surfaces.
So like fire is good down here. Like
in this one case,
in
this one case, you want to bring fire to a Jubilex fight for sure.
Yeah, you're gonna burn away that stuff on the ground.
Right.
Hopefully, you can like burning hands and use low level spell slots to kind of maintain the battlefield.
Yeah, and then make sure you have something ready to finish them off.
Ooh, like the lesser used one. I feel like is the sphere, the sun sphere or whatever.
Oh, flaming sphere.
Flaming sphere. That because you can move that around. You could just like
absolutely
bonus action move it to the squares.
You're not caring about the damage. You're just using it to keep the regeneration off.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that's smart. And then he has a lot of the basic ones they all the Demonlords have. He has legendary resistance, where he can save. If he fails to save 3 times a day. Magic resistance, he has advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects. Magic weapons, Jubilex's weapon attacks are considered to be magical. And then lastly, he does have some innate spellcasting based off of his charisma. He can innately cast the following spells: Acid Splash, Detect Magic, Blight, Contagion, and Gaseous Form.
Okay.
Which are all pretty good.
Those are cool spells.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into his action. So he has a multi-attack, which he only has one type of melee attack called Acid Lash. So Acid Lash is a melee weapon attack, plus 14 hit, reach 10 feet. One target, 46 plus 7 acid damage. Any creature killed by this attack is drawn into Juiblex's body, and the corpse is obliterated after 1 minute. So he can perma-kill you with his basic attack under the right circumstances.
He just sizzle you until you are the ooze.
Fucking obliterated.
Oh, jeez.
His other ability, or action I should say, is called Eject Slime, and it's on a recharge of 5 or 6.
Eject Slime.
Eject
or
Slime.
Sneeze.
Or Sneeze, yeah. He really likes to sneeze, doesn't he? Jubilex spews out a corrosive slime targeting one creature that it can see within 60 feet of it. The target must make a DC 21 dexterity saving throw. On a failure, the target takes 55 or 10d10 acid damage. Holy shit. Unless the target avoids taking any of this damage, any metal armor worn by the target takes a permanent -1 penalty to the AC it offers.
Oh.
And any metal weapon it is carrying or wearing takes a permanent -1 penalty to damage rolls.
That's a black pudding thing.
Yeah, and this seems to punch through magical weapons and armor too. The penalty, the penalty worsens each time the target is subjected to this effect. If the penalty on an object it drops to -5, that object is destroyed.
Yeah.
So he fucks up with he fucks your shit up.
He fucks your magical weapons up over. So if you're honestly,
this is scary. This is a scary fight. This fight went from being like to like, no, this is actually kind of scary.
Yeah, because your damage spongers are getting like absorbed,
taken out. Yeah, exactly.
5 turns deep and like you're useless.
Yeah, if things went bad,
you gotta break out another weapon.
Absolutely.
Or like, and how many times are you busting out 2 magical weapons and then a third? You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Like, do you have 3 magical weapons on you that are
ready
good
to go
for this fight?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're prepared,
and like, you can't rely on spells because he has advantage on all saving throws against them.
Yeah, I'm thinking that like in most cases during campaigns, you probably don't expect to fight this guy.
Oh God, he just rolls. You got to run.
Yeah,
fuck that.
Like honestly, you're probably doing something in upstairs with Zuggtmoy, and you're prepared for that fight, and maybe not so prepared for this guy. So if things break bad and you fall down, now you have to fight him. This is bad news.
Bad news bears. All right, let's get to the last bit of it. Legendary actions. He has 3 legendary actions he can take. The first is just an extra acid. Oh no, not extra acid lash. This is called Acid Splash. He casts the spell Acid Splash.
Okay, I was like, the spell?
Yeah. The next one is he makes an extra Acid Lash attack.
Oh, okay.
And the last thing he has is a unique ability called Corrupting Touch. This is a melee weapon attack, plus 14 to hit, reach 10 feet, 1 creature, 46 plus 7 poison damage, and the target is slimed. Until the slime is scraped off with an action, the target is poisoned, and any creature other than an ooze. And any creature other than an ooze is poisoned while within 10 feet of the target. So this is like a mass poisoning.
So you're getting hit and then it's...
And this is happening in his off turn too.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Nice. I'm a fan of this. Good job, Wizards. I really like this one.
Yeah, man. That was kind of wicked. So I'm going to offer you some flavor for your Jubilex fight.
Okay, yeah.
Every action and attack is like a really nasty thing a person would do, like sneezing, coughing, vomiting, or like for the acid lash, like a little like boil appears on the surface and he pops it. And it shoots out, it lashes out with some acid.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. I do like the disgusting factor of your homebrew.
Yeah, and farts. farts and excrement.
Yeah, he's real nasty about it.
All of it.
He's just a giant fart monster.
Is all the pus in the world and all the goo like ruled by Juiblex? Like if you have a nasty wound and you got some pussy oozy stuff, is he like looking? Is he winking at you?
No, he's not. He's not at all.
Okay,
I do like Jubilex because as I've talked a bit about before in the show, Oozes are like my favorite D&D monster.
They're pretty funny.
I think they're fucking hilarious, and they're also intimidating too. Like they ride that line of being comical but also terrifying, and I like that.
Yeah, because they will suffocate you.
Yeah, it's and they're scary because it's this non-living, even though it is alive, entity that's non-understandable. You can't be reasoned with. It only hungers, and if you're overwhelmed, you're fucked, and that's scary.
So like for low level players, from like players level 1 to 5, like you're throwing these guys and mimics at players in dungeons is a fun way to make them kind of like make panic options and stuff happen.
Exactly. But then you get the funny side too, like the idea of a gelatinous cube just makes me laugh. It's like nothing alive is square, and there's nothing keeping this thing square.
It just is square.
It is square, and I love it. I love it so much.
That's because Jubilex is formless or whatever. So it's just whatever he wills himself to be shaped like.
He could be a giant gelatinous cube if he so decided.
He could be a cube. He could be a pentagon.
He could definitely be that. Yes.
He takes the form of his Gukuzi.
Gukuzi. Oh, you found it.
I did it.
All right, let's get ready for a short long rest.
Okay. Hey everybody, be sure to check out
Super Quest Saga, a future fantasy 5th edition D&D actual play podcast homebrewed and dungeon mastered by yours truly, me, and Set in Space.
And I play in it, along with your special guest Jake and friend of the show, Josh Freeland.
You can find it on YouTube, iTunes, or anywhere else you can get your podcasts.
Super Quest Saga!
Will these slippers have traction on the bottom that help me walk around and get ready for bed? They keep the stink off my feet as I walk around the Oozy Lair that is my unkept bathroom.
As we try and leave the slime pits here. Oh, I mean Brian's bathroom, sorry.
No, I keep a clean house. I run a tight ship. Let's get ready for bed. And when we do that, we like to buy new merch from our own merch shop.
I guess so. Yeah, we do.
I am going to buy my own shirt soon.
That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear it.
I like our Year of the Big Guy art.
Me too. It's really nice.
It's fun. So we got a new thumbnail, and we got to work that on Podbean.
Is it not? Is that why you were talking to me about Podbean?
Yeah.
I'll look into it tonight.
We just got to log into Podbean and change our thumbnail. Thank you to the user on Patreon that let us know that wasn't changed yet.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Why is Podbean different? Like, I uploaded it to iTunes. It changed everywhere except for Podbean.
Because Podbean and iTunes aren't married.
If you notice our old logo anywhere and we didn't see it, I thought I don't know. I'll check around. But if you notice it and you want to let us know, that'd be helpful. So thanks. Buying our merch is helpful. That's super cool.
Yeah.
So you guys can go do that if you want. It's also very cool.
Plus, it's cool because you get to represent us, and then other people see the shirt and they're like, "Hey, what's that?" And then you can tell them all about it.
Yeah, and that's how we flourish as a show, is you guys telling people about the show. So thank you very much for doing that too. We pumped the Patreon in the short rest, but you can find that at the Dungeoncast, patreon.com/the-Dungeoncast. I think they sent us we're gonna like beta some stuff with that for like the RSS feed. That is hooked up with Patreon. They're trying to switch over to like a new, better system. I support everything Patreon does to better themselves because they need to, and they know they need to.
A lot of room of improvement.
Yeah, they send us a lot of emails about like we're working on it, like we're trying to figure it out. Here's a summary.
In a way, I get it because like we're always trying to improve, and dude, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to do stuff.
It is hard to do stuff. Okay, so also Super Quest Saga. We've been on hiatus for a little while.
Speaking of doing stuff,
we've been on hiatus. We planned that hiatus and then the outbreak happened. Yeah. So it continued the hiatus because now we record that in person. We are going to change that to not record in person, which means the game will be brought to you in remotely. We're going to record it. It's going to be presented to you in the same, like,
you guys won't notice that much of a difference. Probably, maybe
it'll look different. I think just like we're going to screen record people's faces on like Zoom or something like that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, but we're going to get back to it
with a Ranger Danger, right?
Hey, there it is. So Patreon people, we should have done this in the short rest or in the dungeon chats, but
sure.
Ranger Danger Part 2, I'm halfway through writing the campaign.
Is it 2 Ranger, 2 Danger?
2 Ranger, 2 Danger. I don't know.
Is that too obvious?
I don't know what to call it yet. I know what the plot is going to be.
Go Vans.
I'm just trying to figure out the something interesting to do in the second act, and then we're good pretty much.
Yeah.
So I'll have that ready soon.
I'm gonna have to rebuild rock from the ground up because I don't have that sheet. That sheet was long gone. And
That's
lost.
okay. Just get it close. And
it's cool. He's
fine.
a different man now, anyways. Like,
yes,
I have a cool opening scene planned for him.
Dope. Okay, and I have cool opening scenes to ride off of anybody's cool opening scene. Also,
awesome!
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, Freeland and your special guest Jake will be playing with that, but it will be premiering on our Patreon only.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you can go listen to the first edition of Ranger Danger, Volume 1,
Mm-hmm.
which is for free on our Patreon right now for you to listen to. So
Mm-hmm.
anybody can go there. You do not have to be a patron. You can go there and watch and listen to Ranger Danger. It's audio only.
Yeah.
It's a couple hours of like the goofiest game we've ever played.
Definitely.
It's really funny.
Hands down.
And I think you guys would like it. So go check it out. And give it a refresher if you're on Patreon and you want to get right for the next one.
Right.
Our assignment this week is to go listen to that ourselves.
It's funny. I just recently listened to it not that long ago.
Oh,
'cause I was
cool.
showing Tom at work.
You'll have to recap some of the finer details to me with your character.
I will.
I'm going to listen to it as well. But what did Tom think of it?
Oh, he seemed to really enjoy it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Tom is Will's coworker in real life.
Yes.
So let's see what else. We did the merch shop and we did Super Quest Saga will be returning. We don't know exactly when yet, but we're not gonna.
Yeah. As soon as we know, you'll know.
Yeah. So we're gonna work out all the bugs. That's why we're doing Ranger Danger first. We're gonna work out all the bugs with the distance recording, and then we're gonna do Saga, so we can get that shit crispy and right for anybody that wants those pan-seared edges. Delicious. What else do we have going on? Will, anything?
I think we're good. We haven't announced a new contest yet, but we will soon. I'm thinking of something.
Okay. Cool. I mean, there's that book Theros. I was explained to us that it was based. This new release is going to be. No, it's based off of Greek mythology, I think.
Which I think is the Magic.
Oh, it is Magic.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah,
it is
exactly.
Magic the Gathering. So
I'll look into that. If people are interested in that, I don't mind running a contest for it.
It looks like they're really leaning in, man.
Yeah.
Ravnica and now this.
Yeah,
they're gonna. This is a thing.
I know it's a thing, but I'm not sure how popular it actually is. Because I don't think Ravnica was actually that popular.
I don't know. We should look into that.
Yeah, but let me know if that's something that you guys are interested in. Let me know if there's something else out there. Like I was thinking more along the lines of like, hey, this is a time to maybe get friends and family or people who haven't tried D&D, or maybe you watch, because there's a lot of people who say they watch the show but they don't play. This might be a good time. You know, we're all quarantined. You know, everyone's with their families. Maybe you should try the game. Maybe we should give out a couple starter kits or a couple of the base core book trilogy.
That's a great idea. Those are like $15, and we can just like shoot out a bunch of those at the same time.
Exactly. So maybe we can do that giveaway. But I'll let you guys know. You'll see it on Twitter, and I think this long rest is getting a little too long.
Well, one more thing. I did notice a thing that Dungeons and Dragons did in their earlier episodes. They were like, we'll give away a book. But they're also like, if you don't want that book, we'll get you any book, any source book.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're going to rotate one in and out. We'll play around with some things. You guys let us know in the comments below what you want to see, and we'll try to work something out. But we will have some contests soon. Please spread the word about the Dungeoncast and Super Quest Saga. If you're not watching that, now's a great time. It's always a great time to catch up.
Right.
So anyway, yeah,
I think we can call it a game. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.
The Dungeoncast.